Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamond Painting with Anxiety. I'm Karen. So today is Sunday and it's time for another self-care whip and chat. I almost didn't do this one today because today's self-care for me kind of looked like just not doing a whole lot of anything. I mean, I did do stuff. I had to get my laundry done. My laundry day here at the shelter is on Sundays. I did some diamond painting, but I just tried to be a little bit gentle with myself. It's been a rough week for me. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then I'm working on a cross-stitch lap quilt project, which I don't know, maybe you've seen that video, but so yesterday was Saturday, so I stitched for about 4 hours. And unfortunately, years ago when I was running my residential and commercial cleaning business, I developed carpal tunnel in my left hand. And I'm working on my cross stitch piece in a embroidery hoop, and holding on to the hoop with my left hand made my carpal tunnel flare. So I was up I woke up, not up most of the night, but I woke up several times last night in pain. Once the pain starts, it spreads up my arm into my neck. So unfortunately, it's been pretty painful. So I took a pill, took a nap today, just really was kind of low key. But it just is what it is. I have stabilized it. So I've got it in one of these stabilizers that helps me, I think more than anything, just remember not to use it too much. It's not tight enough, I don't think, to really mobilize it maybe enough, but it helps. So hopefully I resolve that. I think I'm going to have to get a lap stand or a Q-snap lap stand, or I don't know, I'm considering getting a table or a floor Q-snap quilting stand because I think it would be handy eventually, but I haven't really decided on all that. But I did decide I wanted to do this video. It'll probably be a short one. So let's take a look at how I did with my self-care last week, and what I've got planned for myself for this week. Like I said, it was a rough week. After I take you through this, I will talk a little bit about the week I had. But last week I had set four new self-care goals for myself in my quest to practice some extreme self-care. So not only was I going to try to not drink coffee after 2, but I was going to do daily study 4 or more times, which for that, I actually did that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times last week. I really found it helpful. When it came to the no coffee after 2, unfortunately, I only did it 1 time last week. So, this is about progress and not perfection. So hopefully I'll do better next week. Like I said, it was a rough week, so it just is what it is. I'll give it another try this week. The other goal that I had set was for stress management, to use my My Life app on my phone that I've been using to do daily check-ins at 11 o'clock 5 or more times. So during my work day, kind of in the middle of my day, just to check in with myself, do a real quick 3 to 8 minute meditation during my lunch break. And I actually did that 6 times last week as well. Didn't do it today. Like I said, today's been, or actually I did do it this morning. I didn't do it yesterday. It's been that kind of week. And then my AM routine, that's about kind of trying to keep myself in a routine. So rather than, getting myself up, having a cup of coffee, rushing to my computer to start working, it's about getting up, having the cup of coffee, doing the study, then having my breakfast, then getting showered and dressed and brushed my teeth and put my makeup on. Not that I don't normally do those things every day, but I maybe, do them not in a consistent order, and I don't get up early and things like that. So just trying to keep myself, in more of a routine. And so I actually did really well with that. I did that 6 times last week as well. And then for my PM routine, my goal was to do that 4 or more times, which again, that means at 9 p.m. Rather than sitting in diamond painting until 11 or 11:30 and then getting up and brushing my teeth and washing my face and rushing to bed. My PM routine is actually to turn off electronics, stop diamond painting, get myself ready for bed in a relaxed manner. What I was doing last week, I don't know that I'll be able to do it this week, but was cross stitching for a few minutes and then going to bed by 10. And I actually did that 4 times last week. So that was really good. So I've set some new goals for this week. I'm going to set 4 a week until the end of the month. I wrote them in green because I had a little bit of trouble telling where I was at. So I finally went over my marks in blue, so it's a little bit easier. But in green, I wrote my goals for this week. So I'll add those in. And I think what I'll do is I'll mark them with green as well, so I can kind of tell where I'm at. So my new goals for this week, along with the things that I've been doing, I want to add in using autofocus 5 or more times. And what autofocus is it's a planning time management system that I use, and it really helps me feel in control and focused. It's really good with my adult ADD. It really helps me. So I want to do that 5 or more times. For environments, 10-minute tidy, 5 or more. And that, I want to make that part of my PM routine. So every night at 9, probably before I brush my teeth and put my pajamas on and all of that, I'll set a timer for 10 minutes and just walk around here making sure absolutely everything's put away, everything's wiped down. Again, not that I don't do those things on a daily basis, but I don't do it because of my ADD. I don't always do it in a, kind of consistent, logical way. So because I don't sleep very well, I want to really, really make my last hour or so before bed just absolutely automatic. They say that helps people to sleep, and so that's something I want to work on. So for social, I've been feeling a little isolated lately. So my goal is to call someone 1 or more times a week. So, just a friend. I mean, I talk to my kids regularly. I talk to lots of people. But, just maybe reach out to one of my friends in Washington. This week I did do, it wasn't a phone call, but on Facebook Messenger I talked with a very, very good friend in Washington for probably about, half an hour via Facebook Messenger. And it made me realize that that's something I really need to strive to do. So 1 or more time a week, reach out and call somebody. Then the other goal I set was for money. So that's no impulse buys. And that, as I've said in videos past, as you can see, a lot of these goals I set 5 or more, 1 or more, 4 or more, because the idea is that if with some of these self-care items, and the reason people get discouraged is they will say, okay, I'm going to do this every single day from now on. And then they're not able to do that, and then they get discouraged and they give up. So I don't really know. That 7 or more, I may be reaching a little bit. I normally don't go that high because my philosophy is if we're adding or subtracting something from our lives, if we can make progress over what we were doing before. For example, if I wasn't doing my daily study at all, a week ago, even if I do it 2 or 3 times, that's progress and that's improvement. But I did say 7 or more. I'm going to kind of look at that. I mean, really, I shouldn't be impulse buying. I do a lot of Amazon shopping. Now, there are things that I need to buy on Amazon sometimes that are not impulse buys. So, like, for example, this week I had to order my granddaughter's birthday present. And as I said, I'm probably going to have to order a Q-snap frame, but I shouldn't be doing it so impulsively. So we'll see how that 7 goes. So those are my goals for the week. That's my project or progress that I made last week. So that's pretty much where I'm at. If you're kind of, joining along with me in whatever form that might be, I would love to hear your, your progress down below in the comments. So I'm still working on my woman in the flower hat. Her flower hat, well, it looks a lot more detailed up there on the camera than it does in person, but it's turning out pretty good. I still think her face is way too orange. She looks like she just went nuts with self-tanner. Definitely the detail in this round is not as detailed as the paint by numbers I did years ago, but I'm just kind of going to continue with it and keep working on it, because I still just like the fact that I did this years ago and I'm doing this now. So I'm curious. I just want to see how it's going to turn out. The detail's definitely not there. I did go on Amazon and looked at this, and actually it came in squares. So I think I ordered the rounds by accident because I would never order rounds on purpose. I don't like doing rounds. I think I may have gotten more detail up in her flowers and in the lace in her dress and stuff if I'd gone with square. But, it just is what it is. I probably will just finish this and stick it in my portfolio and just let it go at that. So let's drop a few drills. Like I said, I don't know how long this video will be. I do have to work tonight. I'm covering a shift for a coworker that's out of town. So I'll be working tonight from 7 to 11 here at the shelter. And so I'm drinking coffee right now, and it's about 4 p.m. So I'm definitely not going to hit my goal of no coffee before after 2 today, but it just is what it is, because I'll need a lot of energy tonight to cover that shift. And as I said, I have not really been sleeping all that well. I have not had a very good week. So, drinking coffee is definitely not self-care, but this is just a time where I think I've got to, I need to be really, really gentle. I'm going to zoom you guys in just a second. May bump you. Oh, let's see. Now you can't see it all. Okay. I don't know. That might be a little better. Let me see. Let me straighten up. Okay. Maybe a little bit more, and then I'll have to, let's see. Okay. Maybe that's pretty good. I'm just going to let it be what it is. So, yeah, it was a very, very difficult week this week. First of all, this past Monday, August 3rd, that is my daughter's birthday that died of an overdose. So the week before that is normally very, very difficult for me, very emotional, very painful. Interestingly enough, it wasn't quite as bad in the couple of weeks leading up this year. So I thought, that it might be a little more manageable, but it ended up that the day before her birthday, Sunday, August 2nd, and the day of her birthday were just really, really hard for me this year. I think part of that was the fact that Wyatt's now living with me, all the adjustments we're going through. It was difficult for him as well, but in a totally different way for me than than it is for me. So yeah, it was tough this year, very difficult. So that had me kind of in a emotionally drained and vulnerable state. And then, unfortunately, on Tuesday, my stepdad um, died very suddenly. He died at home in his sleep. Um, Looks like it was probably a heart attack. We're still waiting on autopsy results and stuff like that. So we'll we'll know more. My mom and my stepdad live in Alaska, so I'm not there with my mom. Uh, so that has just further sort of drained me emotionally. So it's been a tough week. So I wish that, you know, if ever I needed some good self care, that probably would have been the time where I probably should not have drank coffee before bedtime and, just, but that's not how it worked out. There were several nights where I was up very late on the phone, so then you're tired and it's difficult to get through your evening. So, and I'm addicted to caffeine. Caffeine is a substance that people can become addicted to, and so when you're not feeling your best, very often you'll reach out for a substance, even like caffeine, that makes you feel better and gives you some comfort. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much. I'm just going to try again this week, and we're just going to see how it goes. But for now, I am drinking my coffee. I did work a couple of extra shifts for this coworker that's out of town last week as well. So yeah, it was just an incredibly long week. But for my self-care, I did on Friday. I went I told my boss, I said, with my stepdad's death and Naomi's death, I had taken Monday off. But I told my boss, I said, I just, with my stepdad's death, and I've not been sleeping well. On Friday, I told her, I said, what I would like to do is get as much of my work done as possible so that my file checks that I do on a daily basis are all current. And then once I've done that, I'd like to go ahead and clock out early. And so, because I don't like to get behind, I knew that if I didn't make sure all my files were current, that it would just be more stressful on Monday. So I did go ahead and finished everything up for the week, everything that could be done. And then I clocked out at 2, and was able to get ready in a leisurely fashion for Wyatt's doctor appointment that I needed to take him to at 4 on Friday. So we got ready, and I took an extra shower, and we went and took him to his doctor's appointment. I had to get him established with a doctor here in Placentia, the town we live in, just in case he gets sick, and so that we have someone to prescribe his medications that he needs monthly. So we did that. That went really, really well. And then we went to do a little bit of shopping and got Little Caesars for dinner and came home, and I diamond painted, and he watched his stuff on TV, just kind of the normal stuff we do. But yeah, I definitely did not want to cook on Friday. So that was a little bit of self-care. So I did do some good stuff for myself. Taken Monday, Naomi's birthday, off. I do that every year. I have some kind of little rituals that I indulge in, like, buying flowers and planting them here in the yard. Wyatt and I bought some beautiful red hibiscus, and we planted them, and I planted them in the front yard in an area where I can look out my front window here and see them. So that was really nice. So I did that. Was wise enough to take go home early basically on Friday, although I'm already home. But so that was some good self-care I did. Another thing that I found just as I'm beginning to focus on the self-care, one thing that I did that I didn't even track, and I may figure out some way of tracking that this week. Sorry, I needed another sip of coffee. With me having the issues that I do sleeping, I can go to sleep just fine, but I can't stay asleep. So over the years, and it started right after Naomi died, I got into the habit of allowing myself to watch television at bedtime. So I already don't sleep well. I already wake up every hour to couple of hours, and I think having the television on, even though it helps me initially to go to sleep, I think that makes the problem even worse. So one of the other good things I did for myself, just kind of by accident, I find when I start focusing on self-care that, even though I'm only like focusing on those few things we talked about and really kind of just working on those, you'll start to just do other things just kind of, as part of the process. And so one of the things that I did do that was some really good self-care last week is 5 nights, no, I'll take that back, 4 nights during the work week last week, I was able to do my night routine like I was talking about, and then I went to bed without the television on. So I really felt like I slept better, and I think it was a pretty key element in me being able to get through, what was such a stressful week. So I think there's one extra line on my self-care tracker. I think what I may do is go ahead and add a category to track trying to not fall asleep with the TV on. And I think I'll focus on doing that 5 or more times a week, basically so that I'm not falling asleep with the television on during the weeknights or during work nights, which for me are the same thing. I work Monday through Friday for my daytime 40-hour-a-week job. And then, as you know, if you're new to my channel, I also have 2 other jobs. I do substance use disorder counseling at night, 3 nights a week, and then I work anywhere from, I would say 6 to 12 hours here at the shelter, sometimes a little bit more if somebody's out of town. So that's kind of what I do. So let's see. I can grab one more color and do, let's see if I can find it. What am I looking for? Number 17. Number 17, let's post a few more of those, let's place a few more of those. So yeah, I am enjoying this project, but a little bit disappointed with it all at the same time. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. Definitely a lot quicker than the paint by number one I did years ago, but definitely not as detailed. But especially when I've had a week like I've had this week, I say this all the time, but there's so much therapeutic value in me just placing these drills one at a time. And even if, the picture's not that detailed, or, you know, with this particular one, it's getting better as I went along, but up here in the corner, it's got training wheels, so I'm seeing some shadows of those, and, you know, things like that, the little imperfections. But just as I, you know, complete each section, as I get this section done, I do get a sense of satisfaction and completion, and so, you know, it's nothing but helpful in my life, regardless of how it turns out. Now, would I want to do diamond paintings that are like this all the time? No, because there are products out there that, you know, are much better quality and turn out much better. You know, this part of this was my buying mistake, though, as well. Probably in a project that has the lace and some of the details that this does, I should have probably gone a little bit larger. I probably should have made sure that I got squares instead of rounds, so that I would have gotten just a little bit more detail. But, you know, I didn't, so that's my buying mistake. Now, this whole orange face that this chick has got, yeah, I don't know. I think that's on the company. But I may change that out, and I may not. We'll see. I'm really, really looking forward to September rolling around and being able to get started on, you know, participating in drills and chills. The community event that Kay Diamond Paints is hosting this year over on Instagram. She's got some videos up about it too, so you can look for those if you're not aware of what that is. It's a really fun community event that was started last year by Tiny Worlds of Wonder and, oh gosh, was it Distracted by Diamonds? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm so sorry, but I don't remember who the other person was that helped out with that last year. But they started it last year. This year, Kay Diamond Paints is going to be doing it, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. I've got actually several Halloween projects that I want to work on for drills and chills. So I'm really excited to get going on that. But, you know, this is my slow myself down, enjoy the process, peace in the meantime. And like I keep saying, I don't know why, but I'm just curious to see how badly or how good, how well this project's going to turn out. So I'm just going to keep going. That's just kind of the space I'm in right now. But I am anxious to kind of work on some projects that will be a little more detailed, a little more, will turn out a little more pleasing to me. So I'm excited about that too. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Like I said, this was going to be a real short video today. I've already put up a video today, but I think I'm going to try and edit this and put it up as well. So you guys will have gotten 2 videos from me today. I'm not sure how many videos I'll be able to do next week because I've got to go to work soon. So I'm not going to be able to record anything else, but I've got several things planned. So you guys will be seeing some videos from me soon. But for now, that's it. So thanks so much for watching. As I said, if you're kind of, you know, working on some self-care yourself, I would love to hear what you're doing. Put it in the comments section below. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. If you're a regular here, thanks for coming back. And I want to remind you that we can change lives one drill at a time, even if it's just our own, because when we change our lives, the entire world around us is going to change. So that's it for now, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.